Hey there, everybody. Let's try to do a quick sports algorithm update for Monday night, November 1st, first day of November. We have a football game on Monday night. I didn't update the injury report, but it probably didn't change because these teams obviously didn't play yesterday. So it has 30 to 24 Chiefs. Thinks the Chiefs favored in power score. If you look at where that game is on the list of all the entire games, it's right about here. That's pretty strong. If you look at teams, that's right in the thick of things here. Like you probably expect the Chiefs to win this game and keep that going. That makes a lot of sense. The line's of course terrible, and the 10 points is unbettable because it says the Giants will make it a little closer. Also, the over under is tough because it's set at like 52 something, and we were predicting about 54. But slowing the Giants down. I mean, the Giants are not a powerhouse offensive team. But what I do want to talk about here, right here, is I want to talk about the projection pivot sheet, and I want to discuss because I got a question today via email that made a lot of sense. This is how we make things better. Is whenever you ask me why doesn't it do this, can you make it do this? What I can do is I can make it better so that it does those things and it gets better. So one of the questions they had, because we can't talk about defense because that's a whole other discussion. I'm not going to talk about the defensive ratings. We'll talk about that at a future time. We have more time to go over it. But the question about, well, what about inactive players or players that have a bad rating but don't play anymore and don't get any more snaps? Like it might be some guys potentially down here. And he's like, how do you get rid of them? Because I know they're going to affect the point projections, especially if they have a negative number sometimes. So what you can do is we have a name slicer right here. So if we know, for example, that Mike Remmers is not going to play, this is going to show up in alphabetical order with first name showing up on top there. If you go to slicer settings, hide, it's going to make it a little easier to read. Gets rid of all the junk below there. So Mike Remmers, if you hold down the control button and then use the mouse, you got to hold down control at the same time, it's going to get rid of that person. And if you get rid of enough of them, like if you start getting rid of a bunch of these people, you'll see that it will change projections, right? We got 30, 24. Now all of a sudden it's going to be somewhere else. Where'd it go? Where'd you go, game? Oh, I know why. Sorry. A good point that what just happened there. I'll explain what happened there. So the totals need to be over here. They're not over here right now because we didn't open up all the teams. And we got rid of that OT person. So we can do this. No, actually we don't want to do that. We got rid of one of the people who had a different rate. We actually made a really difficult problem to solve. I'm going to back up. That sucks. It's funny how I always break everything. I break everything. That's my thing. I break everything. The point is I will change the way this is done slightly so that this doesn't happen, but you need to have the total column right there. Whoops. You need to have it right like here. It has to be in this column, otherwise the point projections don't total correctly. So you could start going through the main list here and get rid of, who is this person, by the way? It's somebody on the Chiefs that's screwing this up. It's this person right here, Mike Remmers. Actually is Mike Remmers. Wow, that's hilarious. It is that person that creates an additional column here, and that's where this total column is set up to be. So it's funny that that's there because getting rid of Mike Remmers is what causes the problem. So if you get rid of somebody else, it's not going to change anything. But getting rid of Mike Remmers screws everything up. So I guess leave that guy in there. I swear we'll get to hockey in a minute. So the point is can you go and do this and remove players? The answer is yes. Yes, you can. And that will change the projected score. So if you want to go through every game one by one, every roster, and look at the depth charts and make sure you have a complete list and only a complete list by getting rid of everybody else, then you may find that it's doing even better than it's doing with the version that I put out to everyone. That is certainly a possibility, and I wouldn't stop you from doing that, but that's essentially how you would do that. So that's football. It says you can't bet the game tonight, and you can't. Yeah, there's nothing to bet, so it's one of those unbettable games, which unfortunately are unbettable. Now let's talk about hockey, where there are some bettable games, but not too much. We have low margins today. The highest margin is Ottawa over Chicago, obviously because Chicago has no wins. Matt Murray is going and has a good rating. They're at an underdog line, so even though this margin is not near over 30 or over 40 like we like to see, it's only at 27. So that's good, but not great. So you shouldn't expect to win this every time. But at a line of plus 110, wow, fantastic. So that is the pick of the day because it's the highest pick on here. So anything else? Edmonton over Seattle. Joey Decord is going. He doesn't have a great rating. He only had one game so far this season. My former roommate is the goalie coach for Seattle. I haven't called him to ask him how this guy is to get the skinny. I don't know if he'd tell me the truth anyway. But the point is it does like Edmonton putting up a lot of goals because of this situation. And Seattle's not at home. Now all of a sudden they're going across the border into Edmonton. I don't know if they have any unvaccinated players that can't play or not. So, but it is doing this. So that's a second pick. However, the line's not good. But it says they're going to cover and put up goals, a team that puts up a lot of goals. So you can feel a little more confident with the puck line on Edmonton because if they're going to win, they're probably going to win by more than one. Then you've got the game that's starting right now, which it's probably in the first period, is a Caps over Tampa Bay. So it says 5-3, says they're going to be goals. Vasilevsky not playing as great as he did last year. Vanacek not playing all that great. I am not surprised to see the 64% rating there. He's the third best goalie on here against the fourth best goalie on here. Well, whenever you get goalie disparities, and you also had Washington only could put up 2 goals against Arizona, Tampa Bay has woken up a little bit. This line being an underdog is funny because a lot of people, I guess, are going off of old last year's reputation for Tampa Bay. I do see goals in this game. The over-under is set at 6, which makes sense. Because you have 7.6 goals here. I do think you're going to go on the side of over as opposed to under, I think. And I mean, at plus 125, I guess you take it. So if you do a 3-team round robin today, you do Washington to win, Ottawa to win, and Edmonton minus 1.5. And if you hit 2 out of 3, you're going to make money on that round robin. And if you hit 1 out of 3, you will not. And if you hit 3 out of 3, you're going to do great. Are you going to hit 3 out of 3 there? I'm suspect of my hometown team, Washington. However, they do have the strongest adjusted power on here, which makes me even more liking that bet. If you do straight bets here in the puck line, I feel like you're going to hit 2 out of these 3. I don't know which one's going to lose. Ottawa seems good here. Look at how low this is. Does Chicago get the first win against Matt Murray? Ottawa team that's playing a little bit worse. I guess it could happen. But the goaltender is the strongest here. Strong. It's probably Washington losing this game in a high-scoring game is actually the one you probably lose. So maybe go with the over instead of the 125 simply because I'm not liking what I'm seeing out of Vanacek, and the algorithm is kind of reiterating that. So anyway, that's the update for the day. I got some time. Thank you for people who sent me money. Thank you for people that had a good day yesterday. I would have had a great day if I had just made a bet. But I considered it a great day anyway, even though I didn't make a bet. The algorithm won, that's all that matters. All right, so good luck, everybody. May Ottawa be winning so that our streak of the top pick of the day wins. I want to see how many days we can go in a row winning. We're right now at a streak of only 1, which was yesterday. Carolina beat Arizona. The day before that, we lost with Florida in overtime. Right? So we're only at a streak of 1. Well, let's see if we can get it up to 2. Yeah, we won this game yesterday with like I said, a 69% margin. The day before that, Florida had it was a 42 for that game won. The 42% game won. The Florida 47% game lost to Boston, and then we had a win of like 3 days in a row, I think, before that. Yeah, Carolina winning, Florida winning. Anyway, all right, guys. Looks like the adjusted power is slightly changing. I think I have different goalie formulas in there that are going to adjust some stuff, perhaps retroactively. So I need to freeze that. But anyway, I'm talking out of my head. All right, guys. Good luck, everyone. May all your picks be winning. May the football game just I don't know, be an enjoyable game to watch. And within hockey, it's really Ottawa to win is the pick of the day at plus 110. All right. Good luck.